So the deadline for taxes is coming up on April 15th. And one of the things I was thinking about was how I could use AI to help me file my taxes for me. And I basically noticed there were like two big privacy problems that I would face while doing this. The first is on the compute side. If you use some of the existing apps out there that do your taxes for you, you're essentially trusting them to not leak your documents, or if they get hacked, that your documents won't get exposed to the hackers. So that's the first privacy problem. And then the second privacy problem was on the inference side. If you use something like Claude or ChatGPT to help with your taxes, they take your private information, like your documents that contain your social security number, as prompts, and your sensitive information essentially ends up embedded in the model itself. So one thing I wanted to see is, like, what if I could find a way to do this without exposing any of my personal information. So I essentially built this demo app called Tax AI, and this is only like a proof of concept, but essentially what it does is it lets you upload your tax documents, and then it uses AI to extract everything from those documents to compute your Form 1040. So yeah, the app runs inside a TEE, which is a hardware-encrypted enclave, and that basically means that the server operator, or even me, like, I can't access the data while it's being processed. So I'm going to quickly run through to show you how this works. You basically upload your documents here. I have some sample documents ready, like my W-2 and my Form 1098E, which is for my student loans. And then I basically press File My Taxes. And yeah, it basically took all the information in these two forms and completed the 1040 form for me. So I can download it here. And if I open it up here, you can see that this is obviously with sample data, so it's not real information, but you can see that it computes all the lines for me using the documents that I provided. And another thing that I did with this app is you can kind of see, like, how the model optimized your savings to make sure that if there are any like loopholes or ways to save more money, that it did that, and it shows you how. And then it also gives you suggestions for like future documents you could upload on here to get even more in returns. And yeah, so that's how the app works. It's very simple. And then if you go to the bottom here, I have this tab which basically explains kind of how we used TEEs to basically like protect the data. And so yeah, you can see that the app runs inside an enclave on Eigencompute. The server operator can't read the enclave's memory. Nothing's stored on disk. All the data that's in transit is encrypted. And you can also see that the deployment is registered on chain, so you can independently verify that the exact code running in the enclave is actually being ran. So like, you can click on this link to see that. So yeah, this is the deployment on Eigencompute and the TEE. So yeah, that's basically how the app works. Obviously, this is just a proof of concept. So I actually ended up using Claude for the AI inference. So the inference wasn't private, which means that theoretically, like, someone like Anthropic could see the prompts, but the compute layer is fully private. And so yeah, this is only a proof of concept, but the next step would be to swap out Claude for something like a local open source model that you can run inside the same enclave. That would basically give you fully end-to-end privacy for this entire flow. And I've already optimized this code base to be structured for that swap if you decided to do it. So yeah, this repo is fully open source. Like I said, it's only a demo, it's a proof of concept, but if you wanted to fork this repo and build something more production ready with it, you could totally do that.